Have you ever wondered why, seemingly out of nowhere, the spark dims, the laughter fades, and the admiring gaze in your partner's eyes is replaced by something colder, something distant? It's a baffling, often heartbreaking shift, leaving many men scratching their heads, asking, "What happened?" Let me tell you, this isn't some mystical, unpredictable force. It's a gradual erosion, often marked by subtle signs, that can build up to a sudden, undeniable loss of respect, and with it, a loss of attraction. In the intricate dance of romantic relationships, respect isn't just a polite gesture. It's the very stage upon which everything else performs. Without it, communication falters, intimacy wanes, and the foundation of love itself begins to crack. For many men, the feeling of being respected isn't just important. It's how they interpret being loved. Imagine knowing your partner cares for you deeply, but feeling consistently belittled, criticized, or ignored. That disconnect between knowing she loves you and feeling she doesn't actually like or respect you can breed deep resentment. Women too crave respect, but often it's woven into their need to feel cherished and valued. When respect dwindles, it's not just a minor hiccup. It's a fundamental threat to the emotional safety and connection that allows a relationship to thrive. So, what are these insidious behaviors, these silent killers that chip away at the very core of respect? Let's explore some of the most common pitfalls that can lead a woman to suddenly stop looking up to her man. The erosion of trust. When words and actions don't align, one of the quickest ways to undermine respect is through a consistent lack of integrity and honesty. Relationships are built on trust, and when a man frequently lies, hides the truth, or exaggerates, it creates an unstable environment. Even small acts of dishonesty, like omitting details or giving misleading information, accumulate over time, leading to a profound loss of trust. Think about it. If you say you'll call back and consistently don't, or promise to do something but fail to follow through, your words become meaningless. Your partner starts to question not just your reliability, but your very character. It's like Mike, in one example, who often drifts off in thought when Naomi talks about her day, offering only an occasional or yeah without genuine engagement. How can Naomi trust that he truly cares about her experiences if his actions suggest otherwise? This inconsistency, where words and actions contradict, breeds confusion, disappointment, and ultimately, a feeling of being unsafe. A woman needs to feel she can rely on what her man says. If she can't, the foundation of trust erodes, and with it, a significant portion of her respect. Shying away from responsibility, the weight of unfulfilled potential, another major factor. That diminishes respect is a persistent pattern of irresponsibility and a lack of accountability. This isn't just about forgetting to take out the trash, though that can certainly be a contributing factor. It encompasses financial recklessness, failing to fulfill obligations, neglecting one's own health, or consistently avoiding shared goals. When a man habitually sidesteps accountability, deflects blame, or makes excuses for his behavior, it creates immense frustration. His partner starts to view him not as an equal partner, but as another burden. Remember Erica's story, where her boyfriend demands she do all the housework and care for the kids despite her physical pain, then yells at her for small things like needing antifreeze for her car, all while buying an expensive new truck for himself and refusing to get her a much-needed phone. This level of consistent irresponsibility and self-centeredness is a glaring red flag. A woman wants a partner, someone who will stand by her and contribute meaningfully. If she consistently has to pick up the slack, frustration and resentment will inevitably set in, diminishing her respect. Furthermore, hiding from one's true potential and purpose can be a silent killer of respect. When a man gets into a relationship and then settles in, letting himself go both physically and mentally, or wasting time instead of pursuing ambitions, his partner may see it as a lack of drive or maturity. This isn't about being financially rich, but about having a clear vision for one's life and actively working towards it. A man who whines about life like a victim, complaining without looking for solutions, displays a mental and emotional weakness that makes it difficult for a woman to see him as a strong, capable partner. Women are often attracted to men with purpose, men who are building something, even if they aren't there yet. If he's constantly in a state of anticipating doom rather than focusing on how they can pursue goals together, as one woman on Reddit observed about her partner, it becomes hard to maintain respect. The venom of poor communication. When words become weapons, communication is the lifeblood of a healthy relationship, and when it turns toxic, respect is often the first casualty. Psychological research, particularly from Dr. John Gottman, highlights the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling, as major predictors of relationship failure. These aren't just bad habits. They are behaviors that actively erode trust and respect. Criticism. This goes beyond a complaint about a specific action. It's a verbal attack on your partner's personality or character. Using generalized statements like, "You always messy," "things up," or "you never help," ignores positive actions and conveys blame. It makes the partner feel attacked and unappreciated, leading to defensiveness and resentment. Contempt. Considered the most damaging, contempt treats your partner with disdain and scorn, making them feel worthless. This manifests as name-calling, eye-rolling, sarcasm, and hostile humor. Imagine Naomi showing Mike a framed picture she lovingly created, only for him to huff, roll his eyes, and say, "That's so cheesy. Why do you always have to make such a big deal? It's just a stupid photo." This kind of behavior poisons the atmosphere, destroying trust and emotional connection. It tells your partner, "You and your opinions are beneath me." Defensiveness. This is a natural reaction to a perceived attack, but in a relationship, it often involves blaming the other person, making excuses, dismissing their feelings, or responding to a complaint with a complaint of your own. When Mike confronts Naomi about interrupting him, her defensive retort, "It's because what you're saying is untrue," shuts down any chance of productive dialogue. It's an unwillingness to take responsibility, preventing any real resolution. Stonewalling. This is the act of completely withdrawing from the conversation, refusing to engage or respond, often through silence or closed-off body language. It's the silent treatment taken to an extreme. When one partner shuts down, the other often tries harder to get answers, leading to a frustrating and escalating cycle. It signals emotional unavailability and a refusal to work through issues, leaving the other partner feeling abandoned and unheard. Beyond Gottman's horsemen, other communication pitfalls include dismissiveness, where a man invalidates his partner's feelings. "You're just overreacting," or "it's not a big deal," making her feel devalued and hesitant to share. Emotional unavailability, being physically present but emotionally distant, avoiding deep conversations, or rarely expressing one's own feelings, also contributes to a woman feeling unheard and undervalued. And the constant cycle of avoiding difficult topics or assuming your partner can read your mind creates resentment and unmet expectations, as critical information and feelings remain bottled up. The tyranny of control, when boundaries are ignored. Respect also diminishes when a man exhibits controlling or overly suspicious behaviors. A relationship should be a partnership built on trust and autonomy, not a dictatorship or a surveillance state. Excessive jealousy, which crosses the line from a sign of caring to a suffocating attempt at control, is a major red flag. If a man constantly monitors his partner's texts, tracks her location, or demands detailed accounts of her daily activities, it's a blatant violation of her privacy and autonomy. This kind of coercive control is strongly linked to psychological harm and destroys the freedom essential for a healthy relationship. One Reddit user shared an experience where her partner's jealousy controlled her every move, even dictating who she could spend time with, despite his knowing her friends. This behavior, often rooted in deep insecurity, is disrespectful to her as an individual. Similarly, a man who is bossy around her but submissive around other men can quickly lose a woman's respect. Women generally prefer a man who can be a leader and emotionally strong, especially in challenging situations. This doesn't mean being a dictator. but taking responsibility and setting direction. However, if that man is domineering at home but shy and submissive in public, his partner will question his strength and leadership. If he demands she follows his orders at home, but then crumbles when interacting with confident men outside, her respect for him will plummet. A woman wants a partner who is consistently strong and assertive, not just when he's behind closed doors. Disregarding established boundaries, whether physical, emotional, or mental, is another sure way to erode respect. Boundaries are personal, rules that protect individual well-being. When a man pressures his partner into doing things she's uncomfortable with, dismisses her feelings, or invades her personal space, he shows a fundamental lack of respect for who she is. This behavior, even if followed by apologies, reveals a pattern of prioritizing his desires over her needs and comfort. The fading of confidence, when a man loses his own way. Finally, a man's own lack of self-respect, self-discipline, and standards can directly impact how a woman perceives him. Women are often attracted to men who possess a strong sense of self, who are confident in their independence, and who have clear goals and aspirations. If a man's confidence is rooted solely in his partner's presence, or if he prioritizes her needs and desires before truly knowing her or himself, it can be a turnoff. A woman doesn't want to be the sole source of a man's self-worth. That's too much pressure. She wants a partner who is an anchor in his own life, someone who knows what he wants and doesn't want, and who has the self-discipline to pursue his ambitions. If a man constantly compromises his values and boundaries for his partner, or lacks the discipline for his own goals, he appears passive and weak, leading to a loss of attraction and respect. This often ties into a lack of assertiveness. A man who struggles to say no, avoids difficult conversations, or constantly agrees just to keep the peace signals uncertainty and a lack of self-confidence. This behavior, far from being admirable, can make a woman see him as a pushover, someone she cannot truly lean on. Decisive leadership, which women often value, is linked to confidence and competence. If a man consistently hesitates on important choices or looks to others to make decisions, it can be interpreted as a lack of ambition or drive, almost guaranteeing a loss of respect. Even lifestyle choices, such as ignoring personal development or having poor financial habits, contribute to this erosion. When a man neglects self-improvement, not pursuing new skills, hobbies, or knowledge, it can be seen as stagnation. Similarly, financial irresponsibility, overspending, chronic debt, can stress the relationship and suggest an inability to manage adult life, undermining trust and long-term security. These behaviors signal a lack of self-respect and foresight, qualities women often admire. The path to restoration, rebuilding the foundation. The good news is that while respect can be lost, it can also be regained. This journey requires significant self-awareness, consistent effort, and a genuine commitment to change. First and foremost, a man must cultivate his self-respect and confidence from within. This means identifying his own values, setting personal goals, and pursuing them with discipline. It's about building an inner world that isn't solely dependent on the relationship. Engage in self-care, reflect on your actions, and surround yourself with supportive individuals who uplift you. As one expert suggests, you can't pour from an empty cup. To show up fully for your relationship, you must first show up for yourself. Effective and respectful communication is paramount. Learn to listen actively, giving your partner your full attention without interrupting or formulating your next response. Practice I statements to express your feelings and needs clearly without blame, and strive to validate your partner's emotions, even when you disagree. Replace criticism with constructive feedback, and replace contempt with appreciation and fondness. Regularly express gratitude for your partner's efforts and positive qualities. If past hurts make this difficult, couples therapy or counseling can provide invaluable tools and guidance to navigate these complex emotional landscapes. Taking responsibility and demonstrating integrity are crucial. Own your mistakes, apologize sincerely, and, most importantly, follow through on your promises. Be reliable and trustworthy in your actions, aligning your words with your deeds. This consistent behavior rebuilds the trust that may have been eroded. Finally, establish and uphold healthy boundaries, both for yourself and within the relationship. Communicate your limits clearly and calmly, and be prepared to enforce them with consistent consequences. Respecting your partner's boundaries is just as vital as having yours respected. A healthy relationship is a dance between two independent individuals who choose to share their lives, honoring each other's autonomy while building a shared future. Conclusion. The erosion of respect in a relationship is rarely sudden, but rather the cumulative effect of behaviors that chip away at trust, communication, and mutual admiration. From dishonesty and irresponsibility to toxic communication and a lack of self-respect, these patterns can leave a woman feeling devalued and emotionally unsafe. The path to restoring respect requires a man to look inward, take accountability, and commit to consistent self-improvement and respectful engagement. It's about becoming the man you want to be, not just for her, but for yourself, fostering a relationship built on a foundation strong enough to weather any storm and thrive. With genuine love and unwavering respect,